Hi everyone, it is Atia here at Booking with Atia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a TBR for NetGalley November. I am super excited. Big shout out to Nicole and Koda and Vanessa, who of course are linked down below, for asking me to return as a co-host. We're doing the sprint train again. It's going to be a grand old time. NetGalley November is dedicated to getting rid of those arcs that you have from NetGalley and trying to just up your percentage just a little bit if you're me. So I will have the announcement video linked down below, as well as all of my fellow co-hosts and all the necessary and relevant information that you need in order to participate in 2.0 of NetGalley November. In terms of my TBR, I do have 24 priority reads that I will be gravitating towards picking from for my NetGalley journey in November. I am going to do the bingo board because there's 3 ways to play. I'm doing the bingo board. This is what mine looks like. I kind of mashed the 2 ways to play the bingo board together, so I've followed the prompts, but also I've already filled in the covers. And yeah, as you can see, there is definitely more than 24 books on this bingo board because I went through and I think I took like 5 or 6 books that aren't necessarily priority reads for me and put them on the bingo board just to see, what happens. But we're going to jump right in. I have organized this by already released books, so books that came out September of 2025 and prior, and then books that came out in October, November, or books that came out in October are coming out in November and are being released in 2026. And before we get started, I do want to remind you that I have a bonfire and Etsy. So if you would like to get yourself some bookmarks or some merch and further support the channel, that is always appreciated and always linked down below and on my social media pages. I have 11 books in the already released category, so September 2025 and prior, and I have pulled up the handy dandy synopses. You know me, I'm not going to read the entire synopsis unless it's a short one, just the little blurb in the beginning, and I will have the cover up on the screen with me as well. So the first book we have is actually Here for a Good Time by Paye Mo That War. This book came out in August of this year. It is categorized as a romance, and it says, in Paye Mo That War's electrifying and heartfelt new rom-com, a writer's attempt to find inspiration for her new novel is sabotaged by a vacation gone horribly wrong and the feelings for her off-limits best friend. I think they get I'm trying to remember. I think, a group of masked women who are very armed and very angry, show up at this resort that they're at and they can't leave. And I love my, best friends to lovers romance. I love that so much. I gobble that up. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I actually do have a physical copy. It was sent to me by the publisher. So that is one that I hopefully will be getting around to. And I think I may also have the audiobook. I don't know, but I really do hope to get to this one. Next up, we have A Season of Light by Julie Anya. This one came out in February of 2025, and it is a literary fiction. For fans of Behold the Dreamers comes a compelling novel about a tightly bound Nigerian family living in Florida and the wounds that get passed down from generation to generation from the author of the acclaimed Mr. and Mrs. Doctor. When 276 schoolgirls are abducted from their school in Nigeria, Fidelis Enrique, a Florida-based barrister, poet, and former prisoner of war of the Nigerian Civil War, begins to go mad, consumed by memories of his younger sister, Ugochi, who went missing during that conflict. Consumed by survivor's guilt and fearful that the same fate awaits Amara, his 16-year-old daughter, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Ugochi, Fidelis locks her in her bedroom, offering no words of explanation, only lovingly, if poorly, made meals and sweets. Amid that singular action, the Enrique family spirals into chaos. Okay, I have not read the synopsis for that one in a while. I'm very excited about that. Then we have I Am Not Jessica Chen by Anne Liang. This one came out in January. It is a YA contemporary. Scroll down too much. Jenna Chen has spent her life in the shadow of her flawless cousin. Jessica Chen is so smart, she gets the top score in every test. Jessica Chen is so beautiful people stop in the hallway to stare at her. Jessica Chen is so perfect she got into Harvard. And Jenna Chen will only ever be a disappointment. So when Jenna makes a desperate wish to become her cousin, the last thing she expects is for it to come true. Literally. All of a sudden, she gets to live the life she's always dreamed of. But being the model student at cutthroat Havenwood Private Academy isn't quite what she imagined. Worse, people seem to be forgetting that someone named Jenna Chen ever existed. But isn't it worth trading it all away? Her artistic talent, her childhood home, even the hope of a golden boy, Aaron Kai, loving her back, to be Jessica Chen. Whoa. Okay. Then we have Frenemies with Benefits by Cynthia Williams. This released in February of 2025. It is an adult romance. You can't keep a sizzling little secret in a town like Peachtree Cove. For a place that just won an award for Best Small Town, Peachtree Cove sure has a big rumor mill, and Tracy Thompson is tired of being at the center of it. She's worked hard to make her bed and breakfast a success, only to have her soon-to-be ex's very public affair with her business partner result in a shocking pregnancy and the biggest scandal around. Okay. The whole town is going to talk no matter what she does. Maybe it's time that Tracy stopped trying to be perfect. Maybe she should start doing things for herself, like having a little fun. And Brian Nelson, the sexy nursery owner who supplies plants for all her special events, is more than willing to help. Fresh out of a bad marriage, Brian is done with drama. Ever since high school, he's admired Tracy's strength and sass, and a friends with benefits deal sounds perfect. But not everyone in Peachtree Cove is talking, and they can all see what Brian and Tracy don't want to admit, even to themselves, that nothing complicates a simple arrangement quite like love. Interesting, so they're not frenemies? Maybe they are. Maybe you actually get to that in the actual book. Next up, we have A Tropical Rebel Gets the Duke by Adriana Herrera. This is an historical romance. Physician Aurora Montalban, takes risks in her career, but never with her heart. Running an underground women's clinic exposes her to certain dangers, but help arise in the unexpected form of the infuriating Duke of Anon. Aurora begrudgingly accepts his protection, then promptly finds herself in his bed. Wait, what? New to his role as a duke, Apollo Cesar Sinclair Robles struggles to embrace his position, with half of society waiting for him to misstep and the other half looking to discredit him. Apollo never imagined that his enthralling bedmate would become his most trusted advisor. Soon, he realizes the rebellious doctor could be the perfect duchess, but Aurora won't give up her independence, and her secrets make her unsuitable for the aristocracy. Okay. I need to read the first two in this series about her two other friends, but of course you don't have to read them in order, but I kind of do because I have the other two in the series. And A Tropical Rebel Gets the Duke came out in February. Quite a few February releases that I am now going to read. Next up, we have Road to Ruin by Hannah Lee. This is the first book in the Mage Bike Courier. This one came out in May of 2024. An electrifying, gritty fantasy from debut author Hannah Lee that takes a royal messenger on a high-speed chase across a climate-ravaged wasteland, featuring motorcycles, monsters, and magic. All I know about this one is that there's she has to transport letters from a princess and a prince from two different kingdoms or something like that, and they're secretly in love, but she's been reading all their letters and has fallen in love with both of them, which I think is just the perfect combination of mess. And then also, I love myself a climate-ravaged planet. Next up, we have The Prince Without Sorrow by Maitri Wijesekara. This one came out in March of 2025, and it is a fantasy. Drawing on inspiration from the Mauryan Empire of ancient India, debut author Maitri Wijesekara plunges readers into the first amazing book of the Obsidian Throne trilogy, a new fantasy series of hunted witches, romantic and political intrigue. Perfect for fans of the Hurricane Wars and the Jasmine Throne. I absolutely love the Jasmine Throne. Recently finished that series. Highly recommend. And the Hurricane Wars is on my TBR. I need to get to it soon because I have both books in the duology. Next up, we have The Fraud Squad, which is a little bit of an older one compared to its other compadres on the list. And this one is by Kyla Zhao, and it came out January of 2023. A working class woman who infiltrates Singapore's high society to fulfill her dreams risks losing everything in the process, including herself. In this propulsive novel by debut author Kyla Zhao. For as long as she can remember, Samantha Song has dreamed of writing for a high society magazine, and she'll do anything to get there. But the constant struggle to help her mom make ends meet and her low social status caused her dream to feel like a distant fantasy. Now Samantha finds herself working at a drab PR firm. Living vicariously through her wealthy coworker and friend, Anya Chen, is the closest she'll get to her ideal life. Until she meets Timothy Kingston, the disillusioned son of one of Singapore's elite families, and Samantha's one chance at infiltrating the high society world to which she desperately wants to belong. Okay, fascinating. For so long, I thought this was a YA. I don't know why. Just like, I guess the name, The Fraud Squad, just sounds very YA to me. And I was like, wow, this is actually an adult novel. Then we have Trouble in Queenstown by Delia Pitts, actually. And this came out in July of 2024, and it is a mystery. With Trouble in Queenstown, Delia Pitts introduces private investigator Vandy Merrick in a powerful mystery that blends grief, class, race, and family with thrilling results. Okay, so we have a private investigator. She takes on a divorce case, which she does a lot of in this little town in New Jersey. And it says, at first, the surveillance job seems routine, but Vandy soon realizes there's trouble beneath the bland surface of the case when a racially charged murder with connections to the Hannah family rocks Q-Town. Fingers point, clients appear, opposition to the inquiry hardens, and Vandy's sight lines begin to blur as her determination to uncover the truth deepens. She's a minor league PI with few friends and no resources. Logic pegs her chances of solving the case between slim and hell no. But logic isn't her strong suit. Vandy won't back off. Then we have Air, which I know, this is by Sabaa Tahir, and it came out in October 2024. And I know I've been saying this since last year when I got it at Comic-Con that I need to read it. And we're here more than a year later, and for some reason I still have not read it. So I need to rectify that this month. I might not even roll a die for this one and the one after this. I might just be like, I'm going to read it, and that is what it is. But this one is a YA fantasy. Sabaa Tahir is the genius behind the An Ember in the Ashes series, which I absolutely love and adore. So I'm so looking forward to this one. And it says, prepare for a ruthless and romantic new fantasy from New York Times bestselling and National Book Award winning author Sabaa Tahir that introduces a new generation of characters set in the same world as the unforgettable An Ember in the Ashes series. An orphan, an outcast, a prince, and a killer who will bring an empire to its knees. I don't need to read the rest of the synopsis, and I don't think I have read the rest of the synopsis. I just know that this cover is excellent, Sabaa Tahir's writing is excellent, and this is probably most likely going to be an excellent, if not perfect, read. And then we have another one that I got in the fall of 2024, and it's like, I need to read it now. And we're now more than a year later, and I've done the thing that I always do, and that is The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. This is the first book in the Hollow Covenant series. Andrea Stewart is responsible for the perfection that is The Drowning Empire, which again, another series that I absolutely love. And this one is an adult fantasy. The Gods Below begins a sweeping epic from fantasy's newest master worldsmith, Andrea Stewart, a story of magic, betrayal, love, and loyalty, where two sisters will clash on opposite sides of a war against the gods. And I'm not even going to read the rest of the synopsis because I just want to go in and immerse myself. Now, moving on to books that released in October, are releasing in November, and releasing in 2026. We have 13 books on this list, starting with An Unlikely Coven by A.M. Kivita. This one comes out October 28th. So by the time you're watching this, it will be coming out this upcoming Tuesday. After 7 long years, Joan Greenwood has been called home. As the only one in her elite family of witches who cannot manipulate magic, her return to New York City is lukewarm at best. But it's upended by the disastrous news that someone has created a spell that can turn an unmagical human into a powerful witch. While her family covets the ability to create a new generation of witches, Joan is wary of such power in the hands of her conniving relatives. When her best friend, who happens to be a vampire, confesses he has secretly, accidentally saved this human-turned witch from an uncertain fate, Joan is thrust headfirst into a desperate race to undo the spell before it kills its unwilling host. This debut contemporary fantasy features a lovable cast of queer BIPOC characters, witty writing, and a sapphic slow burn romance. An unlikely coven is perfect for fans of A Discovery of Witches and Unkindness of Magicians and the very secret society of irregular witches. I'm actually reading that last one right now and thoroughly enjoying it, so that makes me even more excited. Also, this cover is just really fun. Next up, we have Balancing Act by Paula Chase. This is the first book in the Heights series. This book was, oh, funny, this was released in September? Why do I have that as something else? Oh, never mind. NetGalley says that it released October 21st. I don't know who to believe, NetGalley or the Storygraph, but it came out this year, this fall. A Sweet Valley High for a new generation, a dishy, dazzling YA drama set against the backdrop of an elite charter school where stars are made or fade. When China gets a scholarship to the newest, most prestigious sports school in the city, it's the best opportunity to do the gymnastics she loves. But between caring for her ailing mother and dealing with the elitist girls on her gymnastics team, she's not sure she belongs. Meanwhile, Jamal is reeling from the death of his brother, who was also secretly China's boyfriend. Becoming star of the Power Panthers basketball team is his way to honor his brother's memory, and nothing's going to stand in his way, not even his health. Filled with gossip, high-stakes sports drama, and tons of heart, Balancing Act is a first in a riveting new series about teens fighting for their dreams in a city where picking a side is no game. Then we have Palaver by Brian Washington. This one releases November 4th. In Tokyo, the son works as an English tutor, drinking his nights away with friends at a gay bar. He's entangled in a sexual relationship with a married man, Messi, and while he has built a chosen family in Japan, he is estranged from his family in Houston, particularly his mother, whose preference for the son's oft-troubled homophobic brother, Chris, pushed him to leave home. Then, in the weeks leading up to Christmas, 10 years since they've last seen each other, the mother arrives uninvited on his doorstep. Separated only by the son's cat, Taro, the two of them bristle against each other immediately. The mother, wrestling with memories of her youth in Jamaica and her own complicated brother, works to reconcile her good intentions with her missteps. The son struggles to forgive. But as life begins to steer them in unexpected directions, the mother to a tentative friendship with the local bistro owner, and the son to cautiously getting to know a new patron of the bar, the two of them begin to see each other more clearly, sharing meals and conversations and an eventful trip to Nara. Both mother and son try the best way they can to define where home really is and whether they can find it even in each other. I have read Brian Washington's short story collection, Lot, and I don't own. Is this all he's written? Hasn't he written? Who wrote Memorial? Yeah, Brian Washington also wrote Memorial. I own Memorial. I have yet to read it, even though the premise fascinates me, and I want to read Family Meal. So I'm hoping to get to Palaver, I think it's pronounced, this month so that I can finally start my journey in Washington's novels. Then next up we have Chronicles of Ori, an African epic by Homonio Rosales. This one was released in October. From the acclaimed fine artist Homonio Rosales, a sweeping retelling of African myth illustrated throughout with Rosalie's spectacular paintings. In Chronicles of Ori, Rosales retells the African myth she has long treasured, crafting an enthralling epic that spans the birth of the universe to the modern world of colonialism and resistance. She writes of the powerful, temperamental deities called the Orishas, of the founding of Yorubaland by the shrewd leader Oduduwa, of the young heroine Eve, born in a time of violence and despair, who would help her people regain their past splendor, and of shimmering serpents and monstrous shadows who stalk the lands of mortals. At the center of these linked tales is the bond, sometimes fraying, between the Orishas and the humans who worship them. It was the Orishas who made humans and who gave them their most precious resource, their Oris or destinies. Then we have A Little Holiday Fling by Farah Haran. This is a contemporary Christmas romance. There are two things that Ruby Donji loves with her whole entire heart: Christmas and anything to do with the UK. For Ruby, the holiday season means joy, generosity, and warm memories with her late mother. And now she's on the verge of realizing the dream she and her mother always had: moving to England and opening a cozy inn. The only problem, Ruby needs some hotel experience first. Rashid just doesn't get all the holiday hype. But when he meets a woman dragging home a Christmas tree alone from the winter market, he asks to offer to help, even if he soon finds Ruby adores all the things he dislikes. When Ruby discovers that Rashid's family owns a luxury boutique hotel chain in Britain, she offers him a proposition. She'll help him give his young nieces an amazing Christmas if he'll facilitate an introduction to his family. And this one comes out, I don't know if I said, but ooh, this one came out in October. Oh, we have a strawberry. Are you going to help me talk about books? You're gonna sit right here in front of my face. Okay, well, that works too. Next up, we have Lou with the Band by Alexandra Leigh Young. This one comes out, it's actually already out. It came out October 7th. From the acclaimed author of the delicious Idle Gossip comes a new music-themed novel with an irresistible backbeat and a thoughtful read on friendship and identity. When Lou enlists her best friend Molly to shave her head, it's partly so she doesn't have to deal with washing her hair all the time while on tour, and partly because she's ready to be a new person. No stranger to reinventing herself, Restless Lou is a Cuban-American girl who's never left Texas, let alone the country. But the new Lou has deferred her first semester at Texas State to work for a celebrity musician on tour. She's bound for China, Japan, half of Europe, and everywhere in between. Are you sniffing the mic? No, you're not. What are you doing, Strawberry? Though it means getting intimately acquainted with the band's dirty laundry. Even with her road crew uncle on alert, it will be the summer of a lifetime, full of underground parties, disco spas, and gelato. When Lou falls for a tattooed guitar prodigy who makes her feel achingly alive, it doesn't cross her mind to doubt him, or, as life on the road tightens its hold, her course. Will Molly know her when she returns? If she returns, who is the new Lou really? Pulsing with energy and authentic detail, this story of self-discovery ushers readers backstage on a sensational world tour. Then we have The King Must Die by Kemi Ashingiwa. This one came out on October 7th, and it is a fantasy sci-fi. From the USA Today bestselling author of The Splinter in the Sky comes a pulse-pounding science fiction adventure following the daughter of rebel instigators and the heir of a power-drunk ruler who team up to save their empire or destroy it in the process. Doesn't that sound just absolutely incredible? Right? Doesn't it sound good? It sound good? You're so cute. I love you so much. Then we have A Mouthful of Dust by Nhi Vo. This is the sixth book in the Singing Hills cycle. This one was released on October 7th. Hunger makes monsters in this dark new tale in Nhi Vo's Hugo Award-winning Singing Hills cycle. Wandering cleric Chia of Singing Hills and their Hopo companion, Almost Brilliant, come to the river town of Baolin chasing stories of a legendary famine. Amid tales of dishes served to royalty and desserts made of dust, they discover the secrets of what happens when hunger stalks the land and what the powerful will do to hide their crimes. I'm absolutely in love with this novella series, and I'm so excited to be reading the sixth book. And it's only 97 pages. So then we have The Obake Code by Makana Yamamoto. This is the same author who wrote Mahjong Luck, which I read either earlier this year or late last year. And this one comes out February 17th of 2026. How do you follow the greatest crime of all time? It's been 3 years since the Atlas heist. Malia, aka the Obake, the greatest hacker of all time, was set for life. But being set for life turns out to be pretty boring. But when her new hobby of rigging underground fights lands her in trouble with one of the most dangerous gangs on Kepler space station, she's offered a deal. Take down the corrupt politician interfering with the gang's business, or it's the end of the road for Malia. Hastily assembling her own crew, it should be easy after the impossible heist of Atlas Industries. But this time, the person she's working for is just as bad as the person she's taking down. And there are darker things lurking in the shadows. Things tied to Malia's past. Things that could decide her future. Oh, so excited. Then we have Eternal Ruin, which is the sequel to Immortal Dark by Taijas Germa. This comes out, or it's actually already out. It was released on October 2nd. I'm really hoping to get to this month. I'm not going to read you the synopsis because, again, it is a sequel, but no black vampires, dark academia, there's a school involved, and just enemies to lovers. It's good. It was real good. Then we have another sequel, Blood for the Undying Throne by Sung Il Kim and translated by Anton Her. This is the sequel to Blood of the Old Kings, which I read in February and I talk about in my winter vacation vlog, which you should definitely check out. And this one has dragons and multiple POVs, great world building, reads really quickly, and I'm looking forward to getting to the sequel. Next up, we have Cursed Daughters by Onyinkan Braithwaite, who is also the author of My Sister, the Serial Killer. Hi. This comes out November 4th of 2025. You want to be held? Is that it? All right, this is a literary fiction. It says a young woman must shake off a family curse and the widely held belief that she is a reincarnation of her dead cousin in this wickedly funny, brilliantly perceptive novel about love, female rivalry, and superstition from the author of the smash hit My Sister, the Serial Killer. Okay. When Abun gives birth to her daughter, Anihi, on the day they bury her cousin Monife, there is no denying the startling resemblance between the child and the dead woman. So begins the belief, fostered and fanned by the entire family, that Aniyi is the actual reincarnation of Bonife, fated to follow in her footsteps in all ways, including that tragic end. Whoa. There's also the matter of the family curse. No man will call your house his home, and if they try, they will not have peace, which has been handed down from generation to generation, breaking hearts and causing 3 generations of abandoned Baladon women to live under the same roof. Is she telling me to shut up? Like, what was that? Okay, I'm very much looking forward to this one. And then we have To Strawberry's Great Joy, the last book on this TBR, and that is another sequel, funny enough. To Ride a Rising Storm by Monica Black Goose. This is the second book in the Nampesha Wesit series, the first one being To Shape a Dragon's Breath, which I recently read and will be doing a review for. Very excited to have my hands on this. This comes out in January of 2026, and this one has dragon riders, and there's a school aspect, talks about colonialism and imperialism. There's an indigenous protagonist, and I'm here for it, all of it. And yeah, but those are the 24 books on my priority TBR for NetGalley November. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below, do we have any TBR picks in common? Are you participating in NetGalley November? If so, I guess what's your percentage, or what percentage are you trying to get to? Or how many books are you trying to read in the coming month? Make sure to check out my bonfire and my Etsy, as well as the Discord, my Amazon wishlist, my social media details. Everything is linked somewhere. And also, for more details on NetGalley November and to follow all of my fellow co-hosts, that is also in the description down below. And I will see you in another video and somewhere on the NetGalley sprint train. Bye!
Showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Poking copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me.